You guys ready? Phil, you ready? All right, here we go. Welcome to the Indian Football Awards night. Typically we'd be starting to eat fried chicken at this point. Tony's really upset that we're not eating fried chicken right now. But we'll go ahead. I don't want to take a real long time. We're extremely blessed that we're able to continue to have this year. With some new guidelines that came out yesterday, I wasn't sure whether we were going to be able to get this in, but administrators decided that it would be great for us just to try to get it in and get it done. So I want to welcome you to our awards program for this year, and just want to recap briefly a season that was definitely trying at times, mainly because of things that were going on outside of our program. And I know that your families have felt that. I know that your households have felt that. Your jobs have probably felt that this year. And so it was definitely a trying time for us to be able to get football in. And I'm very thankful that we were able to do that. I'm very thankful to the kids. I'm very thankful to the parents, to my coaches, and the school that allowed us to get 9 games in this year. Many schools that we played this year didn't get that many games. I know Cambridge City played 6, and some other schools only played 3. And so we were extremely blessed and lucky to get our 9 games in this year, and I was very proud of the kids. We had 17 guys on the team this year. Many times we played with 15 and 14 some games. So, again, that was just another hurdle for us to overcome and to get to where we are today, which we had a great season. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm very proud of the kids, very proud of the coaches. I'm very proud of what we were able to accomplish with our 17 Indian football players this year. So I want to start out with some thank yous, and I always do this, but I always want to make sure that people understand how much I appreciate them. And I want you to understand this, and I'm not going to stand up here and talk a lot about this, but I want you to understand how much of a trying time this is for a school corporation to be in. Decisions are made daily by our administrators and our school board that affect us each and every day, and they are put in positions, they're being put in positions they've never been put in before in their lives. And they're making decisions based on what's best for our kids, for our parents, for our community, for our school corporation. And I think that is something that they were never taught how to do. They were never taught how to make decisions in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. And so I'm very thankful that we have the school board that we have and the administrators that we have that have decided to do everything they can to emphasize extracurricular activities here at Union City. It would have been very easy for them just to say, hey, we can't do anything. Let's just get them in the classroom and that'll be it. But they did not do that. We were definitely blessed with the opportunity to play. So I want to thank our school board. I definitely want to thank our superintendent, Mr. Black, not just for his support as far as athletics go and the school corporation, but he's a rock in my own life as far as a spiritual guide for me, and I'm so appreciative of what he does for me personally. Andy Stover has been a great blessing as well this year. Brad Osborne in the maintenance department. I don't think everybody understands what they've had to do at our school corporation just to have classroom time for our kids, let alone to have our extracurricular activities. Painting our field, cleaning our locker room. We use their truck, we use other equipment from them, and they just do a tremendous job. They worked extremely hard to make sure that your kids, your student athletes were able to play this year. And I'm just so thankful for Brad and his commitment to our student athletes as well as our maintenance department. It's definitely not, it's every day, I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably every day during the season. At some point in time, I'm contacting Brad about something that I need, and he is very willing to help. Neil Adams, Jason Loomis are 2 former football coaches, and they know what it's like to be a coach and coach football here at Union City. And so I'm very thankful that they're on my side, and they help me every single day on football items. And we're very lucky that we're just very lucky as a school corporation to have administrators that were either ADs or coaches at some point in their career, and I want you to understand that too. So that's very thankful for Adams and Loomis. Diana Taylor's our secretary in the office for the athletic department and the treasurer. She does a great job, and we want to thank her as well. Some media guys that have been a part of my life for a long time, but also help as far as football goes. Rick Reed from the News Gazette, Joel Brantingham from G1013, and then Tom Byron from Star 98.3 have just been tremendous assets for us at getting our kids out. I'm a big proponent of getting your kids out there and letting their accolades be seen by others, and they do a great job. And then also Clinton Randall. If you don't know Clinton does a lot for me as a football program. He does a lot for the school. He does a lot for athletic department. So he takes all our headshots for free. I mean, he just came over the other day and took our wrestling headshots for Coach Lawrence and the girls basketball team headshots. And he just does all that because he loves us and loves Union City. So we want to make sure to thank him. I had a new BSN rep this year. I lost my old one, which was Steve Shoemaker, who was wonderful and tremendous to me over the last 25 years of our friendship. But I got a new one this year. Her name's Mackenzie, and she was tremendous as well. I just wanted to thank her. If you don't know her, she's young. She played D1 basketball at Wright State, and so she's very in tune with what's going on. So she does a lot for us and helps get what we need done. The Union City Fire Department, Police Department have always been a big supporter of Union City football. I want to thank them as well. They're a big part of my life personally, and then also professionally as a football coach. The city of Union City stepped up for us this year. We weren't able to have our team meals in the building this year, and so I called Steve and I said, Steve, I got nothing. What do I do? I got to have these team meals. It's a huge part of my program. And Steve talked to whoever, and they decided, hey, we could have them at the community room. So for the parents that helped with that, you know how special that was for the kids. So I can't thank the city enough for allowing us to use that facility. I mean, it was just a huge blessing. So our chain crew this year is Brad Jeffries, Jamie Wright, Chris Webb, and Andy Abel. They did a tremendous job as well. We're thankful for them. Mike Thornburg, our athletic director, is a huge help and a huge guide for me. He definitely does what we ask him to do, but he's just tremendous. And again, in this time that we were in this year, he did things that no other AD would have done for your kids to play athletics. And I want you to see that, and I want you to understand that, and I want you to see his passion for your kids and for our athletic department is true and real, and I truly appreciate that as well. All the parents, I mean, obviously, playing football at UNC is very demanding, and I know that, and I understand that. I'm a very demanding guy. My coaches are very demanding, and so it takes a lot to be a UNC football player. It really does. And for the parents that put up with that, I appreciate that. I appreciate everything you guys have done. I appreciate the pregame meals. I appreciate the sandwiches after the game. I appreciate the fact that you have to get up on Saturday morning sometimes and wake your kid up to come to practice. And I mean, just everything that goes along with being a parent for Union City football is tough. I know it is, and I understand that. And I'm just so thankful that as a community and as a school corporation, we have the parents that are willing and able to be a part of that, because it's something special, and I truly believe that. In my heart of hearts, I truly believe that this is a special program, this is a special place, and it's something to be thankful to be a part of. So obviously I want to thank my wife, huge support. When I decided to come back and coach football, I didn't know whether I'd still have a wife, so I was very thankful that she said, yes, I'll stay with you, even though you're a moron. But and so I'm very thankful that my wife has stuck it out and is a huge support. And then our coaches' families as well. If you think I'm demanding of your kids, you'll never know how demanding I am of my coaches. I'm very demanding of them as well. And they step up each and every day, and they do what I ask them to do. They're there when I need them. And they put in the time to help your kids not only be better football players, but just better people in general. And so their families sacrifice a lot, to be honest with you. when, we're in a situation where on a Saturday, when your kid leaves at 11, my coaches stay until at least 2 o'clock game planning for the next week. And so, our coaches' room has grown a little bit over the years as far as people goes, meaning that some little people have started to come into our coaches' room, which I really like, little kids. And so Logan has brought his kids, and AJ's brought his kids, and that's pretty awesome to see, by the way, just so you know. For me, I coached all these guys, and now their kids are coming in and sitting on my lap when we're breaking down film, and it's just a huge blessing to have those kids part of our program as well. But their families sacrifice a lot for them to be able to coach your kids, and to be honest with you, their pay, all of our pay at a school is public knowledge, but their pay is very minimal, if you don't know that. So they do this because they love our school, and they love this community, and they love your kids. So my staff is very important as well. This year we added a new trainer. She's not in here. I think she's at the junior high basketball game. Sharon Smith's her name. If you did not get a chance to meet her this year, she did a wonderful job for us. She got thrown into the mix. She's a young lady. I think she's only like 23, 22. So you can imagine that 22-year-old lady coming into my coach's room with all my coaches and all these high school boy players. And so she did a wonderful job. She did a great job. She didn't put up with anything from the kids or my coaches. She fit right in with us and just went and was part of our staff. And so I hope that we get to keep her around. Trainers we don't typically keep very long, but my hope is that she does stick around. She did a great job, and we're just so appreciative of her as well, even though she graduated from Lynn, Randolph Southern. That's all right, I guess. I got her a Union City shirt, so maybe she'll wear that. So Eric Bentz, our bus driver, I talk a lot about him too. If you've been to one of these before, you know that, but he's been just a tremendous blessing as a friend to me and as a bus driver for your kids. He makes sure he takes care of them. And if you don't know, Eric is a huge farmer, and most Friday nights he's giving up his time where he could be making money in the fields to drive your kids to their games. And that's a big deal. I mean, I think he was joking with me one night, but one night in the bus he said, "Coach, I gave up $3,000 tonight to make $60 to drive you guys where you're going." I think he was joking. I don't know if he's joking, but he was just joshing me a little bit, giving me a hard time, but I think that's probably real. When it comes to harvest time and he's not able to go in the fields and harvest his crops because he's taken us somewhere, that means a lot. Not a lot of people would be willing to do that. So if you know Eric Bentz and you see Eric Bentz, make sure you thank him, because he's a huge part of what we do. Scotty Reagan did our stats and fundraising again this year, and I just can't be more grateful to him. When I was here last time, our coaches did the stats. It takes a lot of time. Most of the time, Scotty would spend most time on Saturdays or Sundays, several hours totaling the stats, putting them online, getting them back to me so that I could get them out to the kids and out to the media. And so it takes a lot of time. Plus, on top of that, he does a great job with fundraising. He's been right there beside me all year. I think we came close to raising $15,000 this year as a football program. And so that's a tremendous amount of money for 17 kids to raise. And Scotty was a big part of that. His ideas, his thoughts, and what he brings to the table. He just did a wonderful job. And on a personal note, just as a personal friend to me, has just been really good for me as well. So I appreciate you, Scotty. All the moms did a great job this year. All the families that cooked us food. Sue Ann Wright did a great job helping with that as well. I mean, it was just a huge effort, on our part to even be able to do those things. And it was just a blessing to be able to do those things as well. So our camera guy this year is Xavier Hill. He's a 7th grader. Again, he was just a kid that I just randomly asked one day if he'd help. We went through a couple kids at the beginning of the year, and he said, "Yeah, I'll be there." And so he did a wonderful job as well. So if you know him or you get a chance to see him, make sure you say thank you. And then our junior high staff did a tremendous job this year. They were in and out of quarantine. And I think they ended up getting to play 3 games, which again is a huge blessing. But Kenny Hill and Dawson Thornburg did a great job down there. But Kevin Lawrence is the driving force down there, if you don't know. And Kevin's sitting back there, and I'm just so appreciative of your friendship, Kevin, and everything that you bring to the table for me. and to our football program. And I just can't thank you enough. I really can't, but I want you to know that I love you, and I'm just so thankful that you're part of my life. So they did a tremendous job this year, and in a difficult situation, and they did everything they could to promote Union City football. So my coaching staff also worked extremely hard, and I mentioned Steve a little bit earlier, but Steve Shoemaker has been part of my life for 20-some years. We've coached football together for such a long time, and his roles have changed over the years in my life as far as football goes, but he's just a huge blessing to me, a huge rock in my life that I can call on. He's an idea guy. He comes up with the greatest ideas ever, to be honest with you, and then we try to carry them out, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but he just does a tremendous job, and he cares about your kids and your school and your community, and that matters to me, and that means a lot to me. So I appreciate Steve. Chris Michaels came back this year as part of our coaching staff. Chris graduated 2 years ahead of me. I was in 10th grade when he graduated high school. He played with me on our high school team, and then we brought him back again this time around to help with us. He doesn't get paid, by the way, if you didn't know that. He's a volunteer, and he is at everything, and he does everything that we ask him to do. He works hard for us and does a tremendous job, and he has been a good friend for quite some time. I'm so thankful that I've been able to bring back coaches that played for me, and I have several of them. And this year I was so thankful that I was able to have Grant part of my staff this year. Grant Shoemaker has been a big part of my life for a long time. As a young child and then into his high school days, he played for me. And I was so thankful to have him around. Again, he's the funniest guy I've ever been around. He laughs a lot. He makes me laugh a lot. So, plus he cares about your kids and knows how to play quarterback, to be honest with you. So AJ made a good comment to me one day. He texted me, and Grant and Kyler had been working with Hunter and Alec, and he said, I just saw 4 generations of our quarterbacks on the field, all with the same throwing motion. And if you don't know that that's a big deal, that is a huge deal. And so for our quarterback coaches to be able to coach the same throwing motion throughout the years and see those guys throwing all the same way is a huge deal. And Grant's part of that. So Kyler is another kid that he started being part of my life probably when he was in the 2nd grade. Just started hanging out with the football team, being part. I coached him 1 year as a freshman, and he did a great job for us. And he's a kid that will be a head coach someday. I truly believe that. And I don't know that it'll be to high school. I think he might have some aspirations of moving up past high school, but he will be a head coach, I guarantee you. Coach Root's been with me a long time. Obviously played for me. I think we hired Coach Root when he was 19, 18 years old probably, as an assistant coach right out of high school. And his family has been part of my life. I coached his brothers. His dad was my coach. And so I was super happy that we were able to incorporate AJ back into our program again this year, and I'm super proud of him. And on a side note, private note, I guess I can share this. I guess AJ asked me to be his son's godfather, his son that he's getting ready to have. So very thankful for that. So I'm excited to be a godfather. So Lance Mock is another guy that's been with us since he was 19 years old. Works hard. Works good for your kids and is a big part of our program. But the one thing I love about all these guys, if you notice, is how much they care about Union City and how much they care about your school. It's not just about the game of football for them. It's our community that we live in. We live here each and every day. All these guys do. They put the effort in each and every day to be better citizens of our community. And that means a lot to me. And I hope that means a lot to you. I think that means something to everybody, that these guys are here and they're present and they want to be part of what we're doing. And Lance is another one of those guys. I hire a lot of cops, you can see, fire department guys, because they care about us. They obviously put their life on the line every day for us. And so that's not a hard leap to become a coach at your school when you're that guy. So Tony Evans is, again, another guy, part of my staff's been a part of my life for quite some time, 20-some years probably. And our families have been intertwined together over the years, vacations and everything that we've been a part of. And I'm so thankful that he cares enough to continue to coach and be a part of our program. Again, he loves your kids, but he loves our community. He loves our school. He's in our school corporation, which helps a lot because none of the rest of us are. None of us are in the school corporation. So having Tony here helps a lot. He's here every day doing teaching his classes and making relationships with kids. So, and then Logan Shoemaker, Grant's older brother and Steve's other son, again, it's just been a part of my life since they were kids. And so it's just a huge part of who we are. I mean, I remember when I decided to come back, I texted Logan and I said, "Are you back in?" And immediately, "Yes, I'm in." And ever since he's probably a freshman in high school, when I texted him, I'd say, "Are you in?" "Yes, I'm in." He always says yes. I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he always says yes. He never tells me no, and he always wants to be a part of what we're doing. And so that's such a huge thing for us. And I'm so, like I said earlier, I'm so grateful to see all these men become fathers and husbands in their lives. And to see Logan with his kids is tremendous. If you've never seen that, it's just an amazing thing. So it's a super thing to be a part of. So, all right, enough about us, right? We're here about the kids. So we're going to start with our letter award winners. And you guys can come up as I call you up. Being a football manager is the worst job in the universe. Okay? I want you to understand that. I want you to hear that because it's terrible. You have to wash all the uniforms. Everything that your kid gets dirty and filthy, these girls wash and clean. Okay? And they take care of all the stuff. They take care of anything that I ask them to do. They keep the jersey sorted. They do all these things. And I was thinking about what to say about the managers, but I just, for me, it all boils down to the last game of the year. If you were not South Adams, it was miserable. The field was a mess. It was disgusting. And we had white jerseys on. And so we came home, and I looked at Grace, and I said, "You're going to clean all these, right?" "Yeah, I'll do it. And so the next morning, as she had basketball practice at 9, I think, at 7:30, she met me here at the school and started scrubbing jerseys. And I'm like, holy cow, thank the Lord for her. And so that's what football managers do. And I know my expectations are very high for those girls. And so they did a great job this year. So we'll do the managers first. So Crystal Breen, come on up. Crystal was new to our school this year. She came in and decided that she wanted to help manage, and I was so thankful that she did. She did a tremendous job and worked very hard for us. Desiree. Desiree, again, first year working for us and being part of our program, and she just did a tremendous job. I know that she's planning on graduating a year early, and so we're not going to have her back. Crystal's a senior as well, and so we're thankful for what Desiree was able to do for us. She helped every day. She was always there and did everything that we asked her to do. She's a very quiet girl, so she doesn't say a lot to me, but I know that she loved me. I know it. I can just tell, So, Gracie. Another shoemaker. Again, Gracie has definitely been part of my life since she was a baby. And I was so thankful when she decided last year that she wanted to help manage. And she works her tail off. She shows up when I ask her to. She's here early. She stays late. She does everything that I need her to do. And it's just tremendous. I mean, for me to have a manager that's able to do that and to get everything ready, it just takes a lot of stress off of me as a football coach. And so I'm just very thankful for her. And I know I got 2 more years with her, and I'm excited about that as well. All right, I usually do freshmen, sophomores, juniors all separate, but we're going to do the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors all together. And so I have them all come up. Mikey Miller's not here tonight. He wasn't able to be here. But Mikey,
As a freshman, he came to us this year, went through junior high, played football last year, and was able to play this year. And so I was so thankful for him. I told the day that I got to know Mikey Miller is the day that we worked the rodeo out there. And we worked a concession stand at the rodeo. Nobody believes this still today. But Mikey Miller was the hardest worker out there. Brendan, you know that's true. You know, you and Calvin were walking around doing nothing. And Mikey Miller was sweat just pouring off of him. So Mikey Miller worked his tail off. And so he didn't say anything to him that whole night. He just worked. And so I was like, man, this kid is pretty special. So I'm thankful for him, and I'll make sure to tell him that too. Other freshman was Alex Spence. I've been waiting on Alec for a long time in high school football. His mother and I work together every day and have worked together every day. And so I know a lot about Alec that he doesn't know that I know probably, but it's a good thing. And so I was so thankful that Alec decided to play this year. And I truly am thankful that he is the kid that stood on the sideline and wanted in that varsity game. I mean, he would tell Tony every day, I'm in, I'm open. Throw me the ball. And we'd be like, nah, let's go, just sit behind us. And then all of a sudden we're like, okay, we'll put him in. So then we kept putting him in, and he kept doing some stuff. And so it's a special kid that knows he wants to be on the field of a varsity game when you're in 9th grade. That's pretty special. And so we're excited about his future, excited about what he's going to bring to the table. And I know that it's going to be good stuff. So very excited. No, we never did. we tried. Landon Dickman. Landon's a star. Landon's another kid that works hard for us, and he is a kid that, again, much like Alec, would stay on the sideline and I want the game, I want to play, I want to be part of what's going on. He was excited to be able to be a contributor this year. I know that. And he definitely has a bright future for us at receiver. He works extremely hard. We've already started wrestling practice, and I'm not coaching wrestling, I'm just kind of hanging out every now and then helping Coach Lawrence. But seeing him work in the weight room, seeing him work on the wrestling mat is definitely going to pay dividends for him in the future. And so we're excited about his junior and senior year for sure. Colin Iguana. Colin's another kid, and if you've been to these before, you know that's been part of my life since he was a baby. I remember when Colin was born, and I know that his brothers played for me, his dad's part of my life, so his sister was my major all through school, and so I'm very thankful to be able to coach Colin. But what was special to me this year about Colin is Colin has always played linebacker and running back his whole life, and this year when he came in, at the end of last year, I did my meeting with him and told him, buddy, you're probably going to have to play offensive line. And I could see in his face, he's sad a little bit. You know, that's a sad thing, right? I didn't think sad, I was an offensive lineman. But so this little guy, he was sad. And so coming in this year, he knew that. And so he decided that he was going to own that and do what we asked him to do and work hard. And he played guard for us all year, played inside linebacker, and did a tremendous job. And so we're excited about where he's going to go for his senior year and his potential at linebacker and offensive line. Brendan, right? Brendan is a tremendous athlete, by the way, and sometimes it's hard to see, but for him as a tight end, as a defensive end, his abilities on the field are pretty special. And so he does what we ask him to do at defensive end. We put him at linebacker some, mock switch to the 3-4 a little bit late in the season to get some advantages, and we put Brendan at linebacker. And then we had some injuries, so I had to put him at guard. And then so we did everything he did everything we asked him to do, and he just did a tremendous job. And he's a pretty special kid, and I can't wait to see what his senior year has in store for him,
because I know that he's going to work hard in the offseason. I know that he's going to get stronger. I know that he's going to get faster. And, I only got one more year with him. And so I know what his potential is, and I can't wait for that to play out. Eli Moore. Eli's a pretty special kid, isn't he? I love you. I love Eli Moore. He takes a lot of crap, doesn't he? If you didn't know that, he does. He takes a lot from everybody, but I'll tell you what, you want to talk about sacrifice of a kid? He sacrificed for his team. He was playing wide receiver this year. He was making plays. He caught some balls. We had some injuries. And I called him up to the office, and I said, you got to play guard. And you have to switch numbers, the number you've had your whole career. I got to give you a new number. You've got to do what I ask you to do. And he said, I'll do it. He said, what? Wasn't excited, but he said, I'll do it. And then he was tremendous. I mean, his enthusiasm, his determination, his reckless abandonment, honestly, that he plays with, fits so well down there at the guard position. He was just unreal. And when he was out for his concussion, we felt that. I mean, we felt that we needed him. And that's a tremendous thing to say about a player, is when they're gone, you miss them. That's huge. And so Eli just was a huge part of what we're doing. And I can't wait to see what he does next year. Maybe a guard, I don't know, we'll see. But he was unselfish all year. I'm just planting that seed right now. Maybe a guard. Seeds grow. I'll let that grow a little bit. So anyway, Blaine Daniels. Blaine's a special kid, if you didn't know. He's probably, I say this all the time, and I truly, truly believe it, that I truly believe in my heart that next year Blaine Daniels will be the best player in the TEC. I truly believe that. And I want him to believe it. I think he does, and he'll get better even each and every day. But what he brings to our team is just tremendous. I mean, his attitude, his fun-lovingness, his smile, the way he jokes with everybody, then plus the intensity that he brings on the football field. I mean, he one game, he returned an interception for a touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. And that was in one game. And that's the intensity that he brings to this game of football. And so he's a pretty special kid. I was super excited when he decided to come back to Union City. I knew him when he was like 5th grade. I think it was when he left, 6th grade, something like that. And so I didn't know what to expect when he came back, but I'm sure glad you came back. And I'm glad you're part of my life. And I'm just so thankful that you're here. So super pleased with you, and I can't wait to see next year. So, all right, now we'll get to our seniors. Sevi Benavides. So I started texting Sevi back in February. I got his phone number, and I started texting him. And the first thing that he sent back to me was, "Is this about football?" And I lied a little bit. I said, "No." I said, "I just want to know how you are. How you doing? What's going on in your life?" And so we started texting a little bit, and he'd tell me this and that. And then school shut down. And so there wasn't really much to tell. We were all stuck at home, right? And so I kind of picked that text back up in the summer, but really the boys just surrounded him and said, "You're going to play football. We need you." And Sevi had played when he was a freshman, and so he knew the game enough to know that he could participate and be part of our program. And he came in and he was able to play offensive line for us. He was able to play linebacker. He played some D-line. And he just was, what I loved about him was that he was, I don't know how to say it, I guess, he had no bad habits because he really hadn't played much. And so he was just a wild man. He just went and ran and did what he's supposed to do. I didn't have to retrain him. I didn't have to do anything with him. He just went and did what we asked him to do. So he is definitely going to be missed. And I wish that I was able to have him for multiple years. But I'm thankful for the year that we had him. I didn't see Zarin here. Is he here? Zarin Cantu is another kid that the senior boys decided they wanted him to play football. And so they bugged him and bugged him and bugged him and bugged him, and then finally he came out. And he's a great athlete. He did a great job for us. We fit him in on offense in multiple spots, whether it was receiver, running back, and then he started at corner every game this year and did a good job for us. And we were very thankful that he was part of our program. All of these kids, I mean, when you think about having 17 kids, if just 2 of these kids decided not to play, we'd really been in trouble. I mean, there was times where we had 15 kids, so that would put us at 13 or 12, you know. So we're just very thankful that Zarin played. I'm very thankful that I got to know him this year and got to be a part of his life. So, Jacob Jeffries. Jacob's another young man that's been a part of my life for quite some time. His brother played for me. His mom and dad are a huge part of my life, and our church we're highly involved together. So I'm very ecstatic that Jacob played this year, to be honest with you. And I know that a lot of the senior boys had a lot to do with that as well. But I was so thankful that Jacob decided to play and participate. And his work ethic was tremendous. And I've said this before, and I didn't say it publicly, I guess, but I don't know if you know, so Jacob would go to welding class in the morning. Then he would come back here for 2 classes. Then he would go to work at the pallet factory in Winchester until 3:30, then came to practice. And he did that every day. So not very many kids would have done that, right? I mean, I can't think of any, to be honest with you, that would do all that driving just to be part of what we were doing here. And so that says enough to me about Jacob to know that he's a special kid. And I'm thankful that he played. He did some stuff. He had a couple interceptions this year. But I was just thankful to be a part of his life more than I already was. And that was to be his football coach. So it just meant a lot to me. Gabe Addington. Gabe's a great kid. Works hard, grades, academics, all that stuff. He's extremely smart when it comes to the game of football. And so that is a huge blessing for us. For those of you that don't know, Gabe broke a record this year. He caught 8 passes in a game, which is a record. He actually tied it, I guess. I didn't know that Coach Purden had that record. I had a 7 to somebody else. Coach Purden showed me that he had 8 one time. So we'll give it to him. We'll give it to Coach Purden, right? So, but Gabe and him tied, so they had 8 catches in a game. And Gabe worked extremely hard for us. He played receiver and safety. He many times throughout the year led the team in tackles from that safety spot. He worked hard on and off the field to be a part of what we were doing. And so I'm very thankful that Gabe was part of our football team this year. Ryan Armitrell. Ryan's another kid that, like Jacob Jeffries, just works hard. I mean, I don't know his exact schedule. I know he goes to school in the morning, then goes to welding, then drives all the way from Richmond to practice. I mean, again, those kids aren't very common that'll do that. And he loves the game of football. He punts. He plays offensive and defensive line. He's very technique driven, meaning that he's very technical with his abilities. And so, he has the best technique on the offensive line, the best technique on the defensive line, and he works extremely hard to be the best at those positions. And so I'm thankful that he was part of our program the last couple of years that I've been here. I'm thankful that I got to know him personally, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. He works extremely hard academically, and I know that he's going to do a lot of great things. Lucas Likens. Lucas has the same debilitating issue that I have in life. Lucas will never say no. I never say no. And Lucas never says no either. Steve has that same issue, by the way. But we're guys that just never say no to anybody. And Lucas never says no to me. So there was many times this year where Lucas was doing things that no one else would do. We're moving furniture or we're doing something crazy. I mean, we're just like, hey, I need you to show up here. All right, I'll be there. And he's always there. And he does everything that I ask him to do. So off the field, he's a tremendous asset. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, the things that we were able to do community service-wise and what we were able to do on that side of it was tremendous. But then also what he was able to do on the field for us. I mean, he played wide receiver, he played corner. He did everything that we asked him to do. There was times where we asked him to try to play tight end because we had other injuries. And he just did everything that we asked him to do. He never said no to us. And that's a huge asset to have as part of your program. And I'm so thankful because I see, not me and Lucas, but I just see a lot of pride in Lucas for his community. And that makes me extremely happy. He wants to help other people. He wants our community to be a better place. He wants to be part of the difference here in Union City. And that's huge for a young kid to have in his heart. So I'm just so thankful for that. Elijah Cowper. Cowper came to us last year. It was his first year from another school. We won't mention what school that is, but we don't like him. So, but anyway, Cowper came to us, and the first thing you notice about Cowper is his smile and his ability to make others laugh. That makes, that's a good time. But what you don't always see in Cowper is his willingness and drive to win. And that's pretty special too in a high school kid. He worked extremely hard. I think we talked earlier in the year. At one point in time, last year he was about 300 pounds, maybe over 300 pounds. Now he's slim 240. He came in. I wasn't sure how that was going to affect his football abilities and skills, but it just heightened him. I mean, his willingness to work to get where he's at weight-wise helped him to be a better football player. He was tremendous on the offensive and defensive line. He punished kids. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If you watch film on Cowper, you can just see kids quit because of this large man that's mauling them to death. And so it's amazing to see. And then plus on top of it, he's funny. He's a great kid. He's very personable. He comes into my office and sits down and talks to me, always gives me a hug. And so I can't say enough about Elijah's impact on our program here at Union City. I can't say enough about his impact on me as a person. And I just remember the day I met him, and it was the summer before his junior year, and him and his parents were here to talk about the school. And I just thought, man, I really want that kid to be a part of what I'm doing here. And I'm so thankful that he is. And I'm so thankful that he's part of my life. And Elijah signed up to be in the Army, and that suits him. He's going to protect us, and he's going to serve, and he's going to protect our freedoms someday, and that's a huge thing. So, Hunter Reagan. You notice a little bit of the theme in some of these kids. Hunter has also been a part of my life for a long time. Like I said, Scotty was several years older than me. Not just a few, several. But Scotty grew up around the corner from me. I grew up around the corner from Scotty, I guess. And so, just knowing them my whole life, and then Hunter being part of our lives as well, our church family and things like that has been a huge part. But one thing I love about Hunter, obviously football player, he plays hard, he works hard, all that stuff. His grades are phenomenal. I mean, just unbelievable. But the main thing that sticks out for me with Hunter is his compassion for others. And that's true. And that's genuine and authentic. So many times today, I work with a lot of young kids, and I see a lot of kids that fake that aren't authentic, and that aren't real with that emotion. And Hunter's not that way. It's not fake. It's so true and genuine that he cares about others the way that he does. His compassion for those that are less fortunate than him is tremendous. And so it's a special thing to be a part of. It's special to see, and it's special to witness. And he's another kid like Lucas and Eli and Colin, they just didn't tell me no this year. Hardly any of them did. I mean, When I needed them, they were all there. When someone asked for help, they were there. And that's a testament to the parents that are sitting here. You've raised these young men to care about others. And you've raised these young men to answer the call when they're needed. And that's important. So, Eric K.I.S.S. Eric is the 100th K.I.S.S. I've coached in my lifetime. Nah, I think he's the third, right? So Eric is another kid that works extremely hard on and off the field. But again, one thing that impresses me is similar to Hunter and Lucas and all these guys is his willingness to do what we ask him to do. And the best thing I've ever heard about Eric was Mike Thornburg. Eric last year worked in Mike's office for a period of day. He was Mike's assistant or whatever that's called, whatever that program's called. And Mike has been an AD for a long time. He's had a lot of those kids be a part of his AD life, whether it was here at Monroe or Lynn or Southern or Union, wherever he's been. And he told me that Eric is the best one he's ever had. And that's huge. I mean, I want you to understand what that means, because that's a big statement from a guy that's had a lot of kids that have come through his life. And so that tells me everything I need to know about Eric. And so I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful that I'll be around just hanging around wrestling so I can see him wrestle this year. And I'm thankful that he was part of our program for the last several years and has been a part of my life when I was picking him up at 5 in the morning to go to wrestling meets to watch his brothers wrestle. So I was just so thankful for him. Hunter Clay. Hunter's a pretty special kid. He's probably, pound for pound, one of the best football players I've ever coached in my life. And I know that's saying a lot, and I mean it. He brings a level of intensity to the game, his knowledge of how to play the game, his just his raw talent for the game of football is unbelievable. And so I knew it was important when I came back to find kids like Hunter. I didn't know he was one of those kids, but I was so pleased last year when he played and was able to perform at the level he was. And I know that us coaches talked all spring and all summer this year about whether he was going to be able to match that level that he played at last year, and he did. He did beyond that level. I mean, he just does a tremendous job of running our defense for Coach Mock. He does a tremendous job of making the calls. He is a tremendous tackler. I mean, just every aspect of his game is tight. And it was never more evident than in multiple games this year when coaches would tell me how special Hunter Clay was. Other coaches. And so the best thing for me when I played here at this school was to know that other coaches were worried about you when they watched film. And they say, oh man, I got to stop that guy or we're never going to win, right? They did that each and every week for Hunter Clay. They knew that if they had to win, if they're going to win, that they had to figure out a way to stop Hunter Clay. And that's a huge, huge thing to be a part of and to hear. Other coaches came up to him this year to tell him how special he was. And I just know what a tremendous player he is, and we're going to miss him. And he's a great kid. And like Cowper, he has decided to join the Army. And I can't be more proud of those kids that do that and decide to protect us and serve. So it's very special. All right, on to other awards this year. I had two 98.3 Star Athlete of the Week awards this year. And what this is an award that the radio station gives out. You nominate kids throughout the year, and each week they give an award to an Athlete of the Week. And we had two winners this year, and the first one was Hunter Clay. That was for week 4. the date's on there. I can't read it. I used to be able to read that stuff. The other Star Athlete of the Week winner that we had this year was Blaine Daniels. Some other awards that we had this year that I really, really love is there is an academic all Tri-Eastern Conference team. And I think I'm not sure when this started. We started to recognize kids with this last year. And so it means a lot to be on this team. You know, there's academic standards. You have to play so much. You have to be part of the academic community as well. And so we had several kids that were named to this Tri-Eastern Conference all academic team, and Landon Dickman. Ryan Armitrout. Hunter Reagan. Eric K.I.S.S. Brendan Wright. That's a tremendous honor, and I'm so thankful that we have guys on our team that are both academic and football mindsets. Senior Pride Awards this year. We had 4 seniors that were, what this award is it's an award that's given to a senior that played all 4 years of football. And so this means they were dedicated to the program all 4 years they were here. And so we had 4 of them this year. And so we'll give the first one to Lucas Likens. Eric K.I.S.S. Gabe Addington. Two years. And Ryan Armitrout. Awesome. All right, we have some team awards that we give. And the first one is our Freshman of the Year award. This award goes to Freshman of the Year. We started this award back in the day mainly to recognize a freshman that works hard, that, being a freshman's hard, right? It's just tough. You're in an awkward stage in your life. And then it's even tougher to be on the football team and be a freshman, right? You got to get all the water. You got to do all the stuff. You got to do everything that everybody tells you to do. And then you forget something that we're supposed to have down at the field, and everybody's got to do up downs until you go get it. And it's just tough being a freshman, right? So this year's Freshman of the Year was Mikey Miller. The next award that we give is our Most Improved Award. This award is multiple definitions of a Most Improved Award, but for us it was about the improvement that this young man has made since he started playing for us, and his improvement in his play, his improvement in his attitude, his improvement in everything that embodies a football player for us. So this year's Most Improved was Eli Moore. The next award that we give is called the Indian Award. This award is special to our program. We started it a while back as well. Basically, this award is an award that's given to the person that we feel as a coaching staff embodies everything that we want in a football player, whether it's academically, whether it's athletically, whether it's community service wise. It's the kid that just has done everything that we've asked him to do. And if everybody on our team was like this kid, we would not be unhappy. I mean, it'd just be tremendous, right? And so that Indian Award is pretty special for us. And this year's Indian Award goes to Eric K.I.S.S. And I'm pretty sure one of your brothers won this too. That's pretty special. It's a legacy. Okay, the next award we give is our Lineman of the Year award. The Lineman of the Year is the player that worked both hard either on offense, defensive lineman, or both, and did everything that we asked of him to do on both sides of the ball. And I alluded to it earlier and how this guy just was technically sound on both sides of the ball. So our Lineman of the Year is Ryan Armantrout. The next award that we'll give is the Defensive Player of the Year award. This award is awarded to the guy that we feel, as a coaching staff, was just tremendous on the defensive side of the ball. And for us, it came down to the fact that this player disrupted just about everything that an offense is trying to do, and he did a tremendous job. And so this year's Defensive Player of the Year is Calper. Okay, our next award goes to our Offensive Player of the Year. This is the player on offense that had the biggest impact, who just we would have struggled without this person on offense. There's no doubt about it. And so this year's Offensive Player of the Year is Blaine Daniels. Okay, the next award that we give is our Most Valuable Player award. It speaks for itself. Obviously, it's the most valuable player. It's the player that we feel without this player, we just would struggle. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He played both sides of the ball tremendously. Just gave the effort that we needed each and every day. And so this year's Most Valuable Player is Hunter Clay. Okay, so a couple other things that we got to give away, but before we do that real quick, once again, famously, I forgot the stat packs. So at the end, if you want your stat pack, it's a stats for every game this year and then totals. And so make sure you come up and get that. Also for the seniors, Brittany made these awesome football mugs with candy in them. And so make sure you come up if you're a senior or senior manager, come up and get your cup at the end of the day as well. And then also our seniors, my seniors, coaches, and managers, I have a gift for you up here as well that you make sure you stop up and get before you leave too. Our last two awards, the last awards that we give are our TEC awards, or all TEC awards. We were fortunate enough to have 3 players that were honored by the TEC. We had one honorable mention, All Tri-Eastern Conference, and that was defensive lineman Elijah Calper. And then we had 2 players recognized as all Tri-Eastern Conference for this season. We had 2 players recognized as that. So all TEC conference running back, Blaine Daniels. And then we also had an all Tri-Eastern Conference linebacker and Hunter Clay. Awesome. So that concludes all the awards I have to give out. Again, I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Coaches, seniors, managers, make sure you come up and get your gifts that we have for you. And again, your stat packs are up here if you'd like a stat pack. I appreciate everybody that's been part of our program this year. And we will come back. We will be better again. We'll get to where we want to be numbers-wise. But I'm just so thankful that we got through this season and that we were able to play football. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I thank you for being here tonight. And until we see you again, thank you.